Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Jesse Bose, aka J-Bone, and we're here to play our next round in the Wiggleboom Invitational, and we will be going against Mr. Golf Clashers himself, Kevin Warren. So this should be an interesting match. Never played Kevin. I've watched a lot of his videos. Know that he's a good guy and he's a father like me. That's about all I know about him. But I do know that he likes to help people in the golf community as well. So here we go, hole number one. This is a winner's bracket game, and we are using common basic clubs, and we have to use basic ball in this tournament. Kevin will have the first, will have honors off the tee box. And Kevin it's a little bit unlucky with his drive and goes into the rough. Definitely something you do not want to do when you are playing in a basic club tournament. The key to this type of tournament is make the best shot you can make in the safest way possible. So for me, that basically means only overpower a ball when I have to overpower it. If I don't have to overpower it, just take a basic shot, try to hit the perfect. Try to line up your shot so even if you hit a great shot, you'll still be okay. And always be aware of, whether or not it's okay to hit it great to one side versus the other side. Like on this drive, I definitely didn't want to hit it great to the right side because I didn't want to go into the right rough. So I hit a decent drive, and let's see what I can do on my second shot. Kevin had to pretty much just punch his ball out of the rough. When you're playing with basic clubs, you really don't have much distance on your irons hitting out of the rough or out of a sand bunker. So what I'm going to try to do is just kind of bounce this ball up there since I have no backspin. And with these clubs, you're running at about a 10 accuracy, so it's about 2.8 miles per hour per ring. So that's the number I'm using when I adjust for my shots. So you're going to see Kevin, he really does not have a lot of options on this shot. His best option might have been trying for the dunk. Which would have been about a circle to his left of the hole. He hit it great, and he rolls a little bit past the hole. So all I have to do here is make this putt for the win on this hole. Excuse me, still nursing this cough. This sucker won't go away. So I'll make the putt, win the hole. That'll put me up with a 1-0 lead of this best of 7 format. So I got to get 4 wins to win the overall match. So we'll go ahead and move on to our next hole. If you haven't been to Kevin's Facebook group yet, it is Golf Clashers. And from there, it's kind of just a golf class community. People will share shots and share tips and things like that about the game. And also he does run his tournaments through a different website, but he has it linked to his Golf Clashers website on Facebook. And if you do a search for Golf Clashers, it comes right up. So on hole number 2, I just hit the ball up the fairway. I wanted to get it a little bit far enough up there, but I didn't want to do anything too crazy. I didn't want to risk maybe slicing it or hooking it into the rough. Now we're going to see Kevin and his approach. And Kevin is going to overpower it again. And this ball is going to... Ooh, man, that was unlucky. Rolled just a bit too far and into the rough. Definitely unfortunate for Kevin. Not a place you want to be on this hole. Alright, so for my second shot, basically want to try to play as close to that right-hand side as possible, but not go into the rough. I hit a good shot, and I roll my ball up to a decent position where I have a shot on the green. It is a much different game with basic clubs. If you've never tried it before, besides the tutorial when you first start playing the game, give it a try. Try to go on some of these lower tours and play some of these people as they use their regular clubs, and you just use a basic club and basic ball. It really helps you improve your game. You have to learn how to play the different holes better and make more strategic shots and rely more on ball placement rather than just, hitting the ball as far as you can. So here's my shot number 3. All I really want to do is hit this one up on the green, close to the hole, and force Kevin to make his shot. I don't want to take any kind of shots that put myself out of range to make the next shot, because I want to apply as much pressure on my opponent as I can, while at the same time, keeping myself, in a very good position. So by doing that, I'm forcing Kevin to do something, try to take a crazy shot and pull something out of a hat here. And when you have basic clubs, it's really hard to do. There's no curl, there's no backspin, there's no side spin. Here you see a little bit of a mishit, and it doesn't take much for your ball to go sailing on these holes, and he's in the bunker, so I gotta make this putt and then force him to make his chip in from the sand, which is very, very tough to do with these clubs. And as we see, we got Kevin. He's lining up a shot. He does have a tailwind, a fairly straight tailwind on this shot, so that does help him a little bit. But he still has to hit the perfect ball out of the sand with basic clubs. So not an easy task at hand. And he does just miss that one and rolls to the left side of the cup. Past the left side of the cup. So I will take the win on that hole, and I will be up 2-0 so far in the match. Keep in mind, I need to win 4 holes to overall win the match. And as I feel, at this point in the match, I feel pretty good. But I do know Kevin's a good player. I've seen him make lots of different shots on his videos and in tournament play. So I can't ever count him out. I just got to keep doing what I'm doing, where I'm making decent shots and not making any errors. Basically, in this type of format, whoever blinks first might blink last. Because all it takes is one mishit ball to really lose a hole in this type of format with these clubs. So you see me hit my drive, play it safe, just kind of hit it up the middle, in between the 2 bunkers. Kevin hits his shot, hits it pretty good too, in about the same position as me. So what we're going to do now is we're going to use this next shot, and we are not going to try to hit anything into the hole, but we are definitely going to try to use the slope behind the hole and possibly get a rollout into the hole. It's happened to me before, and I got it right up there near the area I wanted to get it near, and we'll roll back down the hill. And is it going to make it to the hole? Is it just going to miss the hole? Very close. I would have liked to see what it would have done if it didn't quite make it to that edge at the top of the hill and bounce off a little bit. But definitely a shot that I was happy with. And we're going to see Kevin. He's going to line up a similar shot to the one I just took. Believe it or not, this is the way a lot of people used to play this hole before everybody had, learned how to hook slice the ball way down the fairway and just try to chip it in with your thorn. Kevin hits a perfect shot, and it's looking really good. Rolls up the hill, kind of settles, and slowly starts that roll back down the hill. And he's going to miss it just to the other side of the pin. So he went one side, I went the other side. We both have very easy makeable putts. And we will see our first playoff hole of the night. In my past history playing these types of tournaments, a lot of these holes end up being settled by the playoffs holes. So it's really important to learn how to play these playoff holes and play them well, because it really could be the difference in whether or not you win your round or you lose your round. In the last Wiggleboom Part 2, where we played Tour 2, which I did win, I think I had 3 of my total matches come down to the very last shot on hole number 7 of the shootout, and I was able to pull it off. So that's just how important these playoff holes are. So you're going to see me line my shot up. We're going to go about 3 1/4 bars of adjustment here for the wind. And in my mind, I think I have this lined up pretty good. I've been playing this hole really well in practice and in the first round. And I hit it perfect. But as soon as my ball hits, I know I've got issues. It didn't quite have the speed that I'm normally used to having on this hole. And as you see, I come up fairly short, 4.82 yards. That's a pretty large distance for this hole, just because of the amount of slope behind the hole. And as long as you get the ball up near the hole, it usually feeds back to the hole. So Kevin's going to have to just get it closer than I got it. As you can see, he's taking a little bit different of an approach to this hole than I did. Whereas I played it from farther back, he's going up to the maximum amount that he can hit this club with. And the only issue with this is it's going to be hard for him. It was hard for him to adjust from that spot. As you see, he hits the ball past the hole, and really unluckily, this ball does not catch the downward slope and roll back to the hole. So I'm actually going to win that hole. The amount of movement that ball needed to make, just a little bit more to roll back down the hill, was probably just like microscopical. So we will have the 3-0 lead, and we will be moving on to hole number 4. Now this hole right here, you just want to really make sure you stay away from that right-handed side rough. You don't want to go in the rough on the right hand side. So you just want to make sure you stay away from that. Kevin hits his ball going towards the left-handed side and rough. And he's going to get it to stop, and he should be okay right there for his second shot. And wow, it's raining cats and dogs outside of my house right now. Holy smokes, it's coming down. Alright, so I'm going to take my shot now, and I'm going to line it up. I want to stay as far right as I can, but like I said, I want to stay away from that bunker. So I kind of just put myself a little bit down the fairway towards the middle, and definitely satisfied with that shot, because I'm not going to try to do anything crazy with my second shot. All I'm going to do is kind of lay it up at the edge of the fairway. It looks like Kevin is thinking about trying to make the jump with his shot, which is normally a shot you would make, but you would be using a lot of left-handed spin and curl as well, something that we do not have here. So you see him overpower the ball a little bit, and he's going to end up mishitting it to the right, and unfortunately for him, it ends up in the bunker. Seeing this, it really doesn't change what I was going to try to do. I was going to play it safe and lay it up no matter what, even if he did make his shot onto the fairway on the other side. So, you know, him going into the bunker really didn't change my frame of mind on this hole. And I stayed with the game plan. Just kind of hit it up there right next to the edge of the fairway of the rough, and I'm going to have myself a really nice chip onto the green for a chance at the chip in. Chip and eagle. So you're going to see Kevin, he's going to have to line his shot up out of the bunker, and this is a very tough shot. This is probably like a 10 out of 10 scale toughness shot, because he's really going to have to pretty much hit a perfect and overpower it at the same time. And he actually comes really close. He hits a great shot on the left-hand side, and really does make a really good shot on this hole, considering where he was laying and what he had to do. That was definitely a good shot, because he would have hooked it or sliced it any way, anyway, he would have really been in bad shape on this hole. So you're going to see me line my shot up. What I'm going to try to do is I want to roll it up just past the hole, and then let it come on, roll back down the slope into the hole. This is a little bit tougher to do because there is no ball guide, so I'm kind of just having to eyeball it. With 4.7 wind, I'm going to go a bar and pretty much a bar and a half on the adjustment. And I hit it great left. If I had hit that one perfect, I think I would have got the shot. And that would have been a pretty sweet way to get my fourth win. But we'll just have to try to do that in the shootout, as long as we both make our little putts. And these are kind of these kind of deceiving putts right here. They look like they should be tricky, but really you just have to kind of line it up and hit the ball. This is one of those little putts that you could trick putt on. If you really feel cocky, you can hit it up the hill to the left-hand side and then have it roll back down the hill back into the hole. But in this situation, it's not really the time or place for it. I just wanted to get the ball in the hole and force the playoff. With a 3-0 lead, I don't really need to do anything totally crazy. So on this shot right here, you're going to see I don't have the club to make it, but we do have a 2.5 mile per hour wind, so I can almost assume that my ball is going to carry one extra circle, and I'm going to overpower it just a slight tad bit, Unfortunately, I do not hit a perfect shot. I hit a great shot. If I had hit a perfect shot, I would have been in really good shape. But unfortunately for me, I hit it great. And I do get back on the green. And if I had gone just a little bit farther, it would have definitely filtered back down that little hill to the hole. So, not a very good shot on my shootout. But it's close enough to force Kevin to make a good shot to beat me on the shootout. So here we see Kevin. He's going to try to line up his shot. He's got a 3.5 mile an hour wind, so basically one circle. Maybe 1 1/4 circle of adjustment here for him. He kind of, looks at his different options, decide what he's going to try to do. He looks at what happens if he overpowers it, and he's going to end up aiming a little bit to the left and just hitting it normal power and letting the wind do the work. He hits a perfect shot. He gets the bounce, maybe a little bit farther back than he wanted to, but he gets a decent roll and right down there next to the hole, and Kevin's going to get the win on this one. And so my lead is down to 2, holding strong at 3-1 now. And we will move on to our next hole, which will be our fifth hole played. And we are going to have another par 5. So on this shot right here, it's not about how far you hit your drive. It's just really about making sure you hit a regular drive and stay out of the rough. That's basically all you want to do on this one. Fortunately, Kevin hits it a little bit too far left of great. And once again, he just barely rolls into the rough. And unfortunately, that's really all it takes in this game, is barely rolling into the rough. He's definitely not out of it on this hole yet, but definitely will make things a little bit more tough on him this hole. So all I gotta do is line it up, hit the shot, keep it on the fairway, and I do that. Okay, so I'm sitting in perfect position. All I gotta do now is hit the ball up the left hand side to put myself in position for a third shot onto the green. Don't need to do anything fancy. As you can see, you do not get much distance with your rough iron when it's a basic club. So he hits it to the right, trying to set himself up for a skip shot along that right-handed side. But for me, I'm just going to go up the left-hand side. Not do anything too risky or crazy. Really don't have any reason to. Hit it perfect, and I'm going to put myself up the fairway and in decent position for a third shot. So with no choice, Kevin is going to have to try to use this right-handed side and skip it with his common wood, his beginner wood. And from the looks of it, as the ball guy, it looks like he has a really good shot of it. He has the wind at 4.1. And he's got that aim just along the edge of that rough. And he hits this one, gets the bounce, and it goes into the bunker. So all I've really got to do now is put it on the green, and it's going to be really tough for him to make that bunker shot, just because bunker shots are really tough. So here I got my shot lined up. I'm taking into consideration this 3.6 mile per hour wind. That should put my ball right on the outside edge of that yellow circle. and I hit it good, and for some reason, I don't know what happened, but it did not, it didn't go as far as it showed it was going to go, so I ended up on the fringe. So I'm going to have to make my chip, and if he makes this chip, it might put the pressure on me a little bit. So it all comes down to this chip and my chip. I definitely do not want to be in his position having to chip out of the sand. So close to being on the rough. And he hits it great to the right, and it's all on this chip right here. Will I be able to make it? If I make it, I win the match 4-1 and advance on to, I think it's the winner's bracket championship game. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is. And we got it lined up. And we hit it, and we sink it in the hole for the W. We got the W. 4-1. We say our good game. And there we go. There we have it. Thank you once again for joining me. And I encourage you to subscribe to my page for